Hey everyone, I'm Natalie. Welcome to my channel. I am a mom of two and I just do and share a lot of stuff going on in our life. I share lots and lots of cleaning videos, cleaning with two kids, cleaning with a toddler, and you know, some days aren't pretty, but we definitely get through this, and I just wanted to share that, you know, I'm right here with you guys. I will try to keep it as real as possible. I mean, sometimes showing the nitty-gritty just doesn't happen on camera, but you know, I definitely try to share stories then of what happened. So that is me. So today I am sharing a charcuterie board that I made. I think I say that right. We were having Easter at my husband's cousin's house, and I wanted to bring this. So this is the first time I'm making one this fancy, and I feel like it turned out really good, and I'm so happy I filmed it. So I am going to just take you along with me as I make this board. So here I'm taking salami. So I just got boar's head hard salami at the deli counter. I asked them to slice it thinly, because I realized I did get a pack of salami pre-sliced already, and it's thicker, so you'll see that later on. It still made a really pretty rose, but when they're thinner like this, you can add a lot more, and the rose just is really pretty with all the salami leaves. So you take a glass. I took a wine glass. You want more of a smaller lipped glass, just because otherwise your rose will be pretty big. If you want a really big rose, then that's perfectly fine. I would get a bigger glass then, but this is the smallest top of a glass that we have. So it's a wine glass, and I am just folding the salami in half over it. You know, if you want the sides of the rose to be taller, then you're gonna over on the outside of the glass, you want the salami to be longer there. But I kind of just did various lengths throughout, pretty much in the middle. And I think I try to do more of it being longer in the middle of the glass. Once you feel like you have enough salami on there, you're gonna just flip over the glass. I kind of did like a light push down just to kind of keep the salami all together, and you have your beautiful rose. So I did quite a bit. Again, the salami was thinly sliced, so I felt like I can add quite a bit on this rose. And then this other meat that I'll get to in a little bit, you'll see that you can't really add too much just because the cut of it is a little thicker. So you'll see that in a little bit. Next up, I'm using a Wisconsin cheddar cheese. I think it says sharp cheddar cheese, Wisconsin cheddar cheese, or Wisconsin sharp cheddar cheese. And by the way, I got pretty much all my cheeses and the pre-packed salami and the crackers. I got all at Trader Joe's. They have such a great selection there. So if you're ever looking to make a charcuterie board, I would check them out just because they have so many good cheeses and the prices are really good there too. So anyways, so this was a cheddar cheese. I honestly wasn't a big fan of this cheese. I was hoping So it must have said sharp because I felt like usually sharp crumble more. I'm not really good with cheeses though, so I saw someone else pick this up. So I was like, oh, might as well give this one a try. That's pretty much how I select my cheeses when I'm at a store and when I see someone else pick something up. So, anyways, so I wasn't the biggest fan of this one. I was hoping it would be more crumbly. I was hoping to do like a pile of it all broken up. But that's okay. So this time I am just going to do a zigzag. I saw this somewhere and I thought it was so cool. So you pretty much just cut triangles. So I cut the block a little less than half just to make the triangle shape, and then I cut that block in half again and on a diagonal to get these triangles. So like this right here, you can see, and that makes the triangles. I flip that over and then I cut the thickness of the slices that I wanted. So that's how I made the triangles, and then I'm going every other direction to make this. I don't even know what kind of shape this is, like zippery type of shape. So that is what I'm doing for this cheese. I'm stopping after this piece though here, and I'm gonna figure out what to do with, I'll show you what I do with the rest of this cheese after. I still really wanted a pile of little cheese bites just so you can kind of pick up and grab one while you walk by. So I'm gonna cut these into a little bit thicker of slices and then make them into tiny little squares to make a pile of cheese. So I'm just gonna go through, cut this up, get this all in those little bite-sized pieces. I try to do the same thickness. And I'm just gonna get that done, and then I'll show you what I do next. Next cheese I have is a brie cheese. So I'm just going to open that up. I'm going to keep that one as is. I'm just going to have this on the counter and or on the board, sorry, and have a knife with it. So then people can kind of just pick off the size they want. I feel like when you cut brie cheese, it never, for me anyways, it never turned pretty because it's more of a soft cheese, so I felt like I just never could get it to look pretty. So I just felt like keeping it in a hole was a safer bet for me, and it just kind of added different thicknesses as well. So I'm just going to play around on how I want this to look on the board. I did want it on an end more, just because if it's in the middle, it's kind of hard to cut a piece off of it. So I did want it towards the edge of the board. So, and then I also got these little bowls out because I have a couple dips. My husband's actually going to be a champ because I was running late and this was taking a lot longer than I thought. This board took probably, I don't know, I think an hour and 10 minutes to put together. So he was awesome and helped me make a dip for one of these bowls. Next I have the rosemary Asiago cheese, I believe. It's rosemary something. I believe it's rosemary Asiago cheese. This was such a good cheese. So if you guys like rosemary and that Asiago, I think that's how you say it, cheese, then definitely try this one. Again, from Trader Joe's, really good. And this is more of a harder cheese, so this was nice to do like a design with as well. So I was just trying to figure out how I wanted to cut this. I finally got the idea of wanting to do like a zipper look. So it took me a minute to figure out how I wanted to cut this, where I wanted to cut this. But finally I figured on the board was where I wanted to cut it. So like I said, this is my first time making one of these. So I am kind of just figuring this out as I go and just wanted to share how it went for me. So now the zipper one, this was a little bit thinner of a slice or like a cut of the cheese. So if you really like the way this looked, I would recommend getting a bigger piece. But you'll see it still turned out really good. I got really wide obviously towards the end. So I kind of stopped cutting and then cut that piece in half, and then I did something else with the rest of those pieces later, you'll see. But they just started getting a little bit too thick, and I just felt like no one wants that thick of a piece of cheese when they grab a piece of cheese. So you'll see here I'm just cutting it in half, and I'll do something different with that cheese later. So the rest of that cheese later. So, and then in a minute you'll see the zipper design that I'll be making. So now that I played around with the cheese a little bit, realized I just can't really figure out what to do with that other one. I took that off the board, and I'll show you what I do with that in a little bit. And now I'm gonna start the zipper design. So you kind of just zigzag it, and it kind of looks like a zipper. So I'm just zigzagging the cheese and getting that zipper design look. With the rest of the rosemary cheese, I am just going to cut these up in little bite-sized pieces and have another pile of cheese on the other side of the board. Now I'm going to make a salami rose again. Now this is the salami that was pre-cut already that I just bought a pack of. It is thicker, so it was a little bit harder to get it to stay down around the glass. You can see it kind of like lifting up a little bit. I'm trying to hold it down. So like I said, if I were to do it again, I probably would have just looked, I mean, I don't know really about meats and cheeses, so I don't know if there's different types of salamis at the deli counter, or, you know, I don't know. So I don't know really what I would have done differently, but this was what we had and I made it work for the roast. But if you know anything about salami, if you could get different types of salamis at the deli counter, maybe do that so you can get thinly sliced. But like I said, this didn't turn out bad or anything. I just wish it would have folded down a little bit more. Like the leaves of the rose, as I keep calling it, would have folded down and stayed down a little bit more. But it still turned out good. So, you know, if you're in a pinch and you want to grab this, it did definitely work. It just took a little extra patience and design. So here I'm just flipping it over. I push down a little bit. I'm just trying to see if I can hold the salami leaves for a minute to see if it would help. But it did still turn out cute. But like I said, the leaves were kind of falling down. So I just kept that I kept it this way, upside down, just to see if the salami leaves would kind of fall a little bit while I did the next project. Between salamis, I did wash my hands, so I'm just stepping away quick and washing my hands before I start the next cheese. So this is a basic cheddar cheese from the store, just any grocery store. It's extra sharp cheddar cheese. We have kids at the party. I know my kids really like this cheese, so I did want to have some kid-friendly cheeses on the board as well, and the kids really enjoyed that. So I cut this. I was trying to make triangles. I cut this piece a little bit too wide, so my triangles were a little bit taller than I wanted, but it worked out still. So I just cut that, and then I'm gonna do that back and forth look again with this cheese for the other side of the board. So here I'm just being a critique of myself. I wish I kept the thickness of the slices the same. So here you can see I have some thick ones, some thin ones. So I wish I just stuck with the same thickness. So that is something I will work on for next time. But I just wanted to point that out. It does look a little bit more, you know, choppy, messy if you don't do the same thickness of the cheese slices. So anyways, so that's my little critique of this one. And then for the design, I just did the points up just to give it a different zigzag look. Now I'm just going to take the rest of the Wisconsin cheese. I'm just going to cut that into the bite-sized pieces and add it to the pile that I already have here. I'm just going to make it a little bigger. I didn't know what else to do with the cheese, so I figured I'd just add to this pile and have it kind of flowing over to the side. So now I feel like my board is starting to come together. So I just want to see placement of everything. I'm just going to turn over the salami rows here, see how wide that is. I have some grapes that I want to add throughout the board as well. So I'm just going to get all that placed on here and see where else I can fill in cheese and salami. I have a little bit of a blank space right here in the bottom, or I guess top left corner here near me. So I'm going to add another salami rose. So this time what I'm doing is, it is the thicker cut salami, and I'm kind of pushing the inside of the salami around the glass a little bit more before I just kind of let it fall down, and just so it had more of the closed effect at the top there. But I feel like with the thicker cut salami, you kind of have to push it around the glass rim more. And you can see that I'm kind of making sure it kind of literally like folds right around the glass lip. So I felt like that helped with the rose shape a little bit better, to have more of a tight rose when I push that down, instead of just kind of letting it fall in the center of the glass there a little bit more. So I'm just going to get this salami rose finished for the corner there. Now that I have enough salami on the glass here, I just flipped over the rose. I pushed down a little bit. I felt like the inside fell a little bit, so I was just trying to see if I can lift it up. But yeah, I felt like it got a little bit tighter of a rose, so that kind of worked out, just being able to really push the salami around the glass edges. So that worked a little bit better. So anyway, so now I am just going to fix the cheeses that are around the salami. I'm gonna add a few more grapes for a pop of color. When you're picking out your cheeses, I do recommend, finding different colors. I kind of got all the same color cheese, so that's why I actually added the cheddar, one for the kids, but two for a different color of cheese for the board as well. So that's something I'll keep in mind for next time when I'm selecting my cheeses. I want to add a little bit more of the yellow cheese, just again for a different color. So I'm just going to cut them in little bite-sized pieces, easy for the kids to run by, grab a slice of cheese, and I'm going to put them on the edge of the board here and just fill in the space around the edge here. I have a little bit of space next to the brie here at the front, so I just made long strips of the cheddar cheese and I'm just adding there for a pop of color as well and filling that gap in. In all honesty, I completely forgot about crackers, so I'm glad I had a couple of holes throughout the board here. So I'm just gonna fill the holes I have throughout the board with crackers, which was perfect because I completely forgot to leave space for crackers. So it actually turned out really cute. I like the way it turned out where you just kind of have some crackers throughout. But yeah, honestly, I completely forgot about adding crackers to the board. Lastly, I'm going to add dip to the board. So this is a Greek dip. I got it at Trader Joe's. It's feta, has some roasted peppers. It's a little bit more on the spicy side, I guess. It's not super spicy, but it has like a little bit of a spice to it. We tried this at my aunt's house, I don't know, a month ago or so, and it was so good. So if you like feta, if you like that Greek, flavors and stuff, I would definitely recommend this from Trader Joe's. So I'm going to fill that with one of them, and then my husband was such a champ and helped me out with this board and made a cream cheese dip. I really wanted this cream cheese dip. There's a restaurant near us that has something similar, and it's so, so good. So I wanted to add that to our board too. And it's pretty much cream cheese, butter, and then a whole bunch of seasoning. So there's this green goddess seasoning from Trader Joe's. Added that to it, salt, pepper, a lot of rosemary. I love rosemary. Felt like that really went well with the cheese. And then a lot of other herbs as well. So a little bit of Italian, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, just a bunch of seasonings we added to this, and it turned out so good. So no recipe really, it was kind of more on taste. But yeah, so this ends up being our final board. Thanks so much for coming along with me while I made this board. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys give it a try, definitely leave me a comment. I would love to hear your experience. Don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Have a great day.